Bugz. Welcome. You know, we're just going to have a little filler convo before everybody comes on. This is our baby registry event newborn feeding segment. We are super excited. I just want to say thank you again to everybody that joined us yesterday, where Melissa and Nicole Stone are Snuggle Bugz Mama and Delivery. It was awesome. I was actually filming, so it was really fun to you know, see all the comments come in.
We had such a good combo.
Yeah, it was a great combo. So thank you again. We are super excited to get into newborn feeding today. Again, I am Nicole, our social media specialist here at Snuggle Bugz, here with Melissa, our beautiful marketing director. How's it going? I'm like, that was an intro.
It's going great. Boys have been busy, so we're going to a cottage this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
It's going to be like a glamping situation.
Amazing.
And I'm apprehensive about how that's going to go with a 1.5 and 3.5-year-old.
Yeah.
Apprehensive and excited.
I know. It's also Friday the 13th, a little spooky atmosphere.
Ooh, I didn't
Yes.
Like Nicole said yesterday, we had such a great conversation, and we were saying one of the things that we loved the most was seeing all of the comments and like discussion that was going on in the comments of people sharing their experience. So we're doing this live Q&A style again. Thank you to everyone who sent in their questions in advance. But we'll also do our best. I'm going to be following along. That's what I'm looking at my phone for.
Yeah.
So
for extra questions. Yeah, so ask away, definitely.
Let's go through what we're going to chat about today.
Yes, so today is all things newborn feeding. So we have a few different kind of segments within our segment. We have bottles and sterilizers, bottle feeding, all of our breast pumps, of course. We're going to talk about breastfeeding. I have some formula feeding goodies over here as well. And then we did get a lot of questions from our question box yesterday, and we're going to try to answer all of those. We've kind of plugged them in to our agenda here as well. But overall, all of this, again, is to support our registry event, our baby registry event. So specifically this week, if you start a registry, you'll get some extra perks. We'll throw up those info slides, but don't forget, if you are building your registry for the first time, definitely you can add to registry online, but head into our store for the
your
full
local store. Book an appointment, because this weekend I know they're going to be super jammed with registries. We've got that whole scan to add to registry function in the store. When you book an appointment, you're getting like access to, you know, a store advisor is kind of on reserve for you, so that they can help you build up your registry, and it's just so helpful. They can demo so many products, help you figure out your travel system, all that. So book an appointment to go in store if you can, but if you can't, also online. We've done our best to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, and that's why we've been doing all of these lives too, to dive deep into certain products, open products for you, so you can see us kind of like move around with them, touch and feel them, show you all the ins and outs. So yeah, we're really excited. Again, today is our newborn feeding segment. And we also have, other than our registry, if you're looking for even more information other than these lives, we have our YouTube videos, long form videos going through all of our larger gear items. We have our Instagram and TikTok. We save all of our 1-minute demos and our highlights. So those are jam-packed with amazing demos as well.
We're doing our best.
We are. And then our Learning Center has the most incredible articles. I mean, if you're looking for something, our Learning Center has it.
Yeah.
So we are super happy to always have kind of like the hub of information for our friends and all of the resources that they need. So, shall we?
Dive in.
Let's dive in.
Okay.
So, a lot of our friends, a lot of you joining us today are going to be first-time mamas. And, you know, if you're not as surrounded by friends and family who have had children as well, it can be an overwhelming experience, specifically the breastfeeding, bottle feeding, formula feeding journey. Like the newborn feeding journey, I mean, even Melissa and I talking, I'm like, tell me more. I need to know more. I don't know any of this stuff.
She's been like distinguishing all of her questions this morning by like, oh, this came in from a friend, but this is my question.
This is my question, yeah.
And you know, so many people, one of the big things that we've been chatting about is just how your expectations can differ from reality. And that came up with Nicole and I about your birth journey, like your labor and delivery journey yesterday. It's just so many things about parenthood. you can go in expecting it to be one way and it turns out completely different. I know, you know, historically there was a lot of pressure on breastfeeding, and then it kind of changed into fed is best, and now I like to think that as a society we're a lot more open-minded for whatever whatever works. But I also know as an individual, you often have expectations of yourself and what your goals are and what your how you want your personal journey to go.
Definitely.
And it really doesn't always go that way. And that's okay. And so a lot of our discussion today is just about helping people, you know, understand options and alternatives so that if things don't go as planned, or even if they, like, you kind of know the landscape of what's out there. And just know how common it is. I would say the majority of my like close friends and family who have walked this kind of new parenting path have had, you know, changes in their newborn feeding journey. So maybe they thought that they had no interest in breastfeeding. Near zero interest, they were immediately going to go to formula and then completely change their plan. Or like the opposite, really wanted to nurse, really wanted to breastfeed, and just like baby couldn't get a good latch, so they instead went to more of a pumping feeding schedule. Or, you know, there's just, or they went to formula. Like, it's just, you do you, mama. You do you. And we're just going to help you understand your options and kind of each of the primary categories.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, like you said, there can be that like emotional connection on your first initial plan. And then when it could segue into something else. So I think we're just here to show you all the different options that you have a peace of mind of, like, you know what, if this doesn't go as planned, I can go to my second option or third option, and everything will be A-okay.
So one of the things that I will caveat this with is, like, as much as we're throwing out the tea, we are not lactation consultants. So obviously there's a big difference there. So if you're struggling in your journey, or if you find yourself struggling in your journey, there are experts there who can absolutely support you. One of the things, so let's talk about some of the newborn feeding and or overall newborn tracking apps, because apps are, I don't know how people lived before apps.
I know, it's incredible. I've just even been learning about them. So some of the ones that we have kind of rounded up for you, and I will tag all of these after. I know everybody wanted to know the pages that you were specifying yesterday about
we were
labor and delivery.
We were scrambling to build those lists. I was like, no pressure, guys, but I just added a bajillion products.
But some of the ones specifically for baby feeding could be Medela has a great app. I actually just downloaded it to show you guys when we talk about pumps. So Medela, Huckleberry, Baby Tracker, Feed Baby, Glow Baby. You have had an experience with one of these, correct?
With both my boys, I used Baby Tracker. So that's an app that's going to track your feeding, your diaper changes, and baby sleep. Honestly, I found it such a game changer. It made my life so easy. I could track what side I nursed from. I could, you know, if I was nursing or if I was bottle feeding for a feed, or like even when I was introducing solids, like it allows you to track and like totally customize based on like the age and stage of your baby and what your journey looks like. The sleep tracking, oh my goodness, so amazing. So definitely check out the apps because they make a world of difference.
100%. We also have a newly recent Learning Center article on baby apps, essentially, like sleep apps, baby feeding apps. So I will tag that Learning Center article as well, because it's a great read, and we specify so many of like the friend favorites.
We've got a great question from a friend. So wanting to know the big difference between the ones with the cord and the portable ones. Is there a difference in how strong they work? Okay, so the pump comparison section is for you. So we are going to be getting into that in just a minute.
Yeah, because there is a difference.
There's a bit of a difference.
A bit of a difference, yeah.
Okay, let's talk breastfeeding.
Let's talk breastfeeding.
Okay.
Let me interview you about breastfeeding more like. Okay, the breastfeeding journey.
It's a good journey. Okay, so breastfeeding, one of the nice things about breastfeeding is that it requires the least stuff.
For sure, definitely.
So for me, I liked nursing because it was kind of like the quick and dirty method. It was just like, okay, baby's crying in the night, we're just going to nurse, no cleaning up of bottles and this and that. So But there were some products that I found helped in my breastfeeding journey, in friends and family, and in our, you know, broader Snuggle Bugz friends, so that we're going to chat about today. So a couple of them are, bring your nipple cream to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because I didn't need a nipple cream after like the first couple weeks, but man, those first few weeks are rough.
We actually had a question of natural nipple relief for raw nips. So this question,
this one's a great
this answer is for you. Yeah.
Substance the Matter company, they are a Canadian company, and their products are, I believe, organic and all natural. So we really love this one.
Love.
I know Medela Lanolin cream is another one often recommended. So definitely have some of that available to you. The other thing that I found super critical to my breastfeeding journey was nursing pads. So I liked these ones that you could actually put in the wash. And these are a very nice price point.
Amazing.
Cheap and cheerful. And then if I wanted something a bit more discreet, like if I was wearing a regular bra or something like that.
Definitely.
I liked these disposable ones if I was kind of out and about and didn't want to.
Yeah.
So
there's options, which is nice.
Honestly, and it really depends on the individual. For me, I started like before I had my babies, my milk was coming in, so it was like I needed a management situation.
Yeah, definitely.
I have other friends who never needed to use something like this, whereas like I was going through dozens. So really depends on your personal journey, but definitely love these nursing pads.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of the major keys to your breastfeeding journey is to have a nursing bra.
Yeah.
I really love the t-shirt and ballet bras that you can just pull to the side.
Yeah.
But they've also got these snap ones. So you're just going to snap and then it pulls down to expose your breast so that baby can nurse a lot easier. Obviously, like some of the things are just super critical. Have a button-down shirt or a zip-up. Like, or a nursing top. Like, just make it easier on yourself and don't go anywhere without water.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You need so much water in those early days.
Definitely.
And the other last thing that I'll mention that I also shouted out yesterday is a nursing pillow.
Yeah.
So this is a really nice one by Snuggle Me.
Love Snuggle Me.
Yeah, I found it great. They're really nice for holding up baby, giving you a little bit of extra support. And little mom hack, the other thing I love about having a nursing pillow is when baby starts to actually sit on their own, you can actually use this and they kind of sit in the intersection here and it supports them from falling back.
Nice.
Yeah, so you get a little 2-for-1
Two for one.
Yeah,
love a good combo.
So those are really the main things that you're looking for in terms of a nursing journey. I guess the last thing, this isn't exclusive to just nursing because it applies to bottle-fed babies as well. But if you've got a baby that's going to be spitting up, it's nice to have some birth cloths on hand.
Definitely. Amazing.
Yeah.
So from that, we did have a question. Can you explain, well, and these kind of go a little bit together, leading into our next one, but can you explain a little bit more about nipple confusion, how to avoid it, and then when to start pumping, introing bottles, like when that transition can happen if you've been, you know, breastfeeding and strictly breastfeeding, right?
Okay, so I will caveat this by saying I am 100% not a lactation consultant. So this is just knowledge and information that I've gathered from my experience and from the research that I've done. I'll share, this is a starting point in your research on the topic.
Exactly.
So be intentional about what nipples you're introducing and when. So, you know, for me, I wasn't introducing bottles on day one, so I wasn't as concerned about nipple confusion, which means I didn't have an issue like introducing a pacifier on like day 1 or 2 or 3. I mean, it's whichever you kind of want your primary source to be. You want to make sure that baby kind of gets acquainted with that. So if you're wanting to breastfeed, but baby is primarily being fed by bottle, then that might create some nipple confusion and some preference. I know a lot of my girlfriends struggled with that, where they would formula feed or bottle feed. Bottle feed, doesn't matter what type, but for a couple days, and then baby would start to prefer a bottle over a nipple. So around bottle confusion, it's just if you're wanting to nurse and breastfeed, then try to establish that before, and then be intentional about what additional nipples you're introducing, how and how often. The other thing though that I ran into with my little guy is I didn't consistently use a bottle, and then around 7 or 8 months, he was having some issues with weight gain, and we were like, okay, we should try to introduce a bottle now, because let's try formula to see if we can get him to bulk up, and he refused
not having it.
So I was kicking myself, being like, I should have been, you know, trying a bottle every couple days to just kind of keep that a regular part of our journey, so that it was a familiar source for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways. All's well that ends well, but that was a stressful week.
Yeah.
But overall, in terms of nipple confusion and when you can start introducing a bottle if you've been strictly breastfeeding, like it really is up to you, but like follow your baby's cues. If you notice that you've started introducing the bottle and now they're preferring a bottle over breast, then maybe scale back on the bottle if that's an option for you until they reestablish at the breast.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you were actually showing me this, and I love it, but how and when to burp babies during feeding, you know, to avoid pukes or just kind of burping baby.
Yeah, burping
we have
baby.
our fake baby.
I think one of the more
picked up right back. I'm glad I said that beforehand. We have our fake baby.
We have our fake baby. So this is our cute little fake baby.
Weighted. They are heavy.
Yeah. So in terms of burping, like you're often going to do the over the shoulder, but I'll show you my preferred method for burping. So we would finish a feed, or we'd be partway through a feed. I set baby on one knee, put his legs between my other. You put their kind of chin in the V of your thumb and forefinger, and you're just going to lightly tap them on the back. I found eventually my guys, I would just literally put them in this position. I didn't even need to tap them, and they'd immediately go for their burp. So this I found to be like a really comfortable position, and your palm is kind of like holding their chest stable. Yeah. So, and it also kind of applies that pressure so that the gas works its way up and out.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay, baby, I'll push you back gently.
Head first.
Head first.
Oh, too funny.
And then in terms of frequency of burping, so that was the other part of the question. So, I mean, I did it when I was switching sides. I read, you know, if your baby is bottle fed, you're looking at once every ounce, you're going to burp baby. Or if you've got a gassier baby, maybe, and you're nursing, maybe you're doing it every 5 minutes. So pick what's right for you and your baby.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think just like fueling yourself with all this information, like, you know, like you said, you read up on all these different things.
It is very intuitive between you and your baby. You will quickly realize, like, okay, this is how often my baby, like, you just fall into a natural rhythm together.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Getting into the pump section. There are so many different pump options. This is a question, which we totally agree with. There are so many different pump options. I find choosing one very overlaying. There's so many versions, overwhelming. Like there's just, there's a lot of pumps out there for sure. And there's a lot of different kinds for you.
We got at least 10 questions on pumps.
Yes.
So we're going to do
here's our pump table.
Pump comparison for you. So we're going to be comparing today. We've got the Medela hands-free freestyle breast pump.
Yes, the newest one.
Yeah. We've got the Ameda Joy Deluxe Edition Snuggle Bugz exclusive pump. We've got the Medela Pump in Style.
Yep.
We've also got some kind of electric battery pumps, which is the Medela Harmony manual breast pump and the Haka. So why don't we start with the Medela hands-free?
Definitely.
Okay. So this Medela hands-free pump is such a great one on the market. I think we've been carrying it for, it's like within the past year or so.
Yeah.
Definitely newer to Canada. This one it's hands-free because you can quite literally put this in your pocket.
Yeah.
Put your pumps in your bra.
Yeah.
And you've actually got your, the flange itself is the milk collector.
Yeah.
So you just
really
put them in your bra, you put this in your pocket, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual interface, it's got this really beautiful interface that you can actually control from here and from your phone.
Yes.
So they have this app that totally integrates. It's really it's just really user-friendly. It will tell you how much milk you've collected, how long you've been pumping for, which is also available here.
Yeah. All your stats. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's great.
It's a beautiful pump. Definitely a friend favorite.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm realizing now I downloaded the app on the phone that we're currently filming with, so that was
amazing. Well,
but it is great.
In terms of all pumps, like they're typically going to have two main controls that you want to be focused on, which is the suction power and the speed. And so when you start pumping, typically you're going to have it on the highest suction that you can kind of comfortably handle and the highest speed, and that helps to stimulate the letdown. And then once your milk has come in and you've got the flow established, then you're going to lower the speed, so that you get more of that long and slow.
Yeah.
So we really love this Medela hands-free. It's such an easy to use pump. And it's just nice that everything is all in one. You don't even need, we're going to talk about this bustier and stuff.
Yeah, you don't even need that.
Everything is just contained within your bra, which gives you a lot more kind of maneuverability and hands-free opportunity.
I know when the Freestyle hands-free first came out, we were getting a lot of questions on Instagram about, like, you know, will there ever be a chance to just get the cups if you already have a Medela breast pump? And now we have them. So if you did just want the collector cups, you can purchase them separately, which is awesome. So if you had like a Freestyle Flex and you just want to change up the cups, you can do that. The Swing
Maxi,
work for the like
Sonata as well. I'm not entirely sure, but
the Swing Maxi, it'll work. Like, it's great. So you can definitely purchase those separately now at Snuggle Bugz, which is awesome to give those a fair go too.
And then let's chat about this Ameda pump.
Yes. So this is the Ameda rechargeable and portable double press pump with the tote bag. So it's actually a Snuggle Bugz exclusive.
Yeah, because it's got so many goodies.
It has so many goodies. So you get your pump, you get your collectors, like you get the main portion of your breast pump, and then you have, like what Melissa was saying, you have all of these different sizes as well, which is great. So you definitely can test out which one works best for you.
Yep.
You also get 50 storage bags, which is amazing. Yeah. So you get 50 of these, which is great, so that you can store your milk whenever you need. And it also comes with ice packs, which we were talking about earlier. You know, when you are breastfeeding, sometimes you might be on the go. Sometimes you might not have like a fridge accessible if you're in a hotel or something like that. So it is nice to have those additional kind of like accessories to bring with you. And then this could be your tote bag. You know that this is your breastfeeding and breast pump bag, and you can just kind of have it with you, which is great.
It is. We were saying that with the pumps, you know, some people pump pretty exclusively from home, and it's something that they do like only in their home environment. Yeah. I was more of I pumped out of the home if I wasn't able to nurse in that moment. Yeah. So having a travel bag, I mean, God, I used like a grocery store tote bag, and because
not as convenient, I would say.
Not as convenient. I was constantly like rummaging into the depths, like losing everything. This is nice because everything just has its own little compartment, and it's like it's more easily able to like toss it in another bigger tote bag. So
it also has a nice interface as well. I know I didn't turn it on, but you have, you know, like Melissa was saying, it actually turns right on. Yeah. You have, you know, your speed and your suction. You can do all of that manually as well, and then kind of have that hands-free moment, and then you can just charge it like you would charge a phone, which is great.
And so this one, you know, I would typically use it probably plugged in, but it does have battery, like it has battery.
Exactly.
So it works without being plugged in. So it is still hands-free to a degree.
For sure.
I would say the biggest difference that you're looking at is that you would need, you want to have one of these double bustiers where basically you're actually putting your flange through here, and it helps to suction.
Keep everything.
Let me just fully demo. You're keeping the milk collector like to your breast without needing to hold it, because
so that it can be hands-free. Yeah.
I have forgotten the double pump bra before, and if you have been sitting here like this, you were just like, oh my God, when will this end?
It's the longest feed of
most painful thing ever.
The longest pump of your life.
If you have one of these styles, it's a great breast pump. Just make sure that you are getting one of these double pumping bustiers, because they are a game changer.
Maybe get a 3-pack.
Okay, so then the other pump that we were going to talk about today is the Medela Pump in Style.
Yeah.
So, you know, how this differs from the Medela Freestyle Hands-Free is this one. So first of all, this one is more hospital performance.
Yeah.
I would say this one though is a bit more like less
heavy.
frills.
Yep.
In terms of like you're getting your bag, it's very comparable to the Ameda Maya Joy exclusive that we have. You're getting your double collector bottles. You're also getting the pump itself, which has 4 buttons on it to control your suction power and your speed. So you're not getting like that same touch interface. You're not getting the Bluetooth integration with your phone.
Just manual.
It's like it's a bit more basic while still doing all of the core features that you would want out of a breast pump at a really great quality. So
it's a plug-in.
Yeah, it comes with the tote bag. Honestly, this is another great pump. The pumps that we're talking about today are friend favorites for a reason. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I like that one too. I like that one. Like I've used it. I'm like, it's a good option. Seems like a good option.
So then there's other breast pumps that aren't electric that we wanted to chat about. I think, did I already chat about this, or did I go in depth about it before we?
No, we talked about it in the. I think over the past 2 days, but there's never been an actual like, let me show you.
So this is the Haka silicone breast milk collector. So this is a manual pump that you can use when you're, to be very candid, how I use this is when I was nursing baby. When you're nursing on one side, if your letdown starts and all of a sudden you're flowing milk on the other side, you just are going to suction this to your breast, and it will collect that milk overflow while you're nursing on the other side so that you're not wasting it. And like, I'm talking, we're getting like a half a bottle, a full bottle sometimes.
Right?
So like you do not want to waste that milk. And it's also a great way if you don't have a pump or if you're not going down like a pumping formula journey. That was actually for my first, how I kind of kept trying bottles in the mix is I would use this overflow milk. You're just going to pour it into your bottle and go from there. But this is such a game changer. Loved this. And then the other pump is that's a manual pump popular. Is this Harmony. This is such a great basic. So this, you know, I found it most helpful personally when I was like out and about. I didn't want to bring my full pump. Let's say I went to dinner, but I needed to take a little off the top. This was a really great option just for manual expression. You can really choose how much you're pumping, how fast you're pumping. You're just gonna, you've got this little handheld lever that you just kind of squeeze like this, and it helps to express the milk. Just a really nice, simple, very, you know, petite option. Amazing. Okay,
people are saying the Haka is chef's kiss.
it really is.
Yeah.
Like, it's so great. I remember for the first month I didn't use it, and then my sister was like, why didn't you use this Haka that I got you from the registry? And I was like, oh, I totally forgot. And then I started using it, and I was like, what have I been doing? So in terms of pumping accessories, just to like end off this segment, so we've already talked about the double pumping bustier. Don't sleep on that. It's a great product. And then you're also going to look at your breast milk storage bags, which sometimes will come with a breast pump. Somebody asked a great question in the chat about what bags are best. To be honest, it does not matter.
No. I didn't think it would.
But a little mom tip. So when you are storing your breast milk, if you're freezing it, make sure you freeze the bag flat. And then you can actually, I've seen people use like a container or even a pop case, and they'll actually just stack the breast milk bags back to back.
Oh.
And it makes it's so much more efficient in your freezer, because if you don't store them flat, then they kind of like, they're like this bulging bag and they take up so much space in your freezer. So it's like, the hack is you got to store them flat, freeze them, and then you can stack them and they just take up very little space in your freezer.
Amazing. Yeah. Organizer over here.
Somebody also asked a question. What was that?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I was reading these questions and reading these questions.
There's a lot of questions.
But someone did ask, you know, is Medela the preferred brand? There's so many Medela pumps. I think Medela just offers so many different pumps. Yeah. For sure. But like we said, our Snuggle Bugz exclusive, the Ameda, like that's an incredible pump. So they all have their own value and bring their own value. But Medela does have a large range.
Totally.
Oh, we did get a question. What is the best breast pump for flat or inverted nipples?
I mean, I would say any. One thing that Medela has that you can use when you're breastfeeding or with a pump is these contact nipple shields. And they're literally marketed for flat or inverted nipples where you've got a difficult latch. So this could be a great option to try. It just helps to create more of that regular nipple shape. I don't know, but flat and inverted nipples are very regular. So
it's nice that that's
protruding
available.
nipple shape, we'll say.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a great option to try.
Yeah, great. Any more questions about pumps, or shall we
let's get into
move on a little bit?
Formula feeding.
Formula feeding. So I have my little baby Brezza and the Avent, kind of like a on-the-go formula pack. So this baby Brezza in particular, the Formula Pro, is incredible. Whether you're strictly formula feeding or start integrating formula feeding, I've actually seen this in action.
Well, let's call it what it is. Judith used this, and
yes.
basically like, you guys could never talk about baby feeding again without talking
unless you
about
talk about
this
the baby
product.
Brezza. And I saw it at her house in action. It's so incredible. It's like the Keurig or Nespresso of formula feeding, but it's really cool because it's top storage, so you can put all of your formula in the top, and then it will dispense it as needed. It's also great for, you know, if you and your partner, one of you's tending to baby, your partner's getting the bottle. It's Bluetooth connectivity, so you can actually set it up right there and like get it going. Like it's
the ideal
the technology behind it is great.
When baby wakes up in the middle of the night, you need to give them a bottle. You go on your app. You cue the bottle up. By the time you walk downstairs, it's ready to rock.
It spins, dispenses. Like it is so, there's 9 different settings, super easy to use. Basically, like, looks good on your countertop too. Like, it's so good. And then, of course, we had to include a more on-the-go option. So, you know, you just kind of dispense each one of your formulas in their measure. You know what I mean? It's like a trio.
Yeah.
So it's like a trio. Kind of like a measuring cup almost. Like you just kind of.
If you don't want to bring a bunch of different pre-measured, like a whole bunch of different containers with you, this one just has your pre-measured, ready to rock.
Yeah, it's an easy like in the diaper bag, kind of like on the go scenario as well, which is great too.
Yeah. Love it.
This is incredible.
Oh, it's the best. Okay, so next up, let's get into bottles.
Yes.
So many questions about bottles. What bottles are best? We've said this before during this segment. One of the biggest things to note about bottles is don't go all in on one bottle on day one.
Or get hung up on,
give yourself some options. I got hung up on the Komotomo ones. I was like, I'm only doing Komotomo. And then I didn't really use them. And then with my second, he didn't take them right away. So then I ended up trying the whole gamut of bottles. And then it ended up being that he just didn't want a bottle.
He was not having it.
Komotomo. So it's like, at the end of the day, just give yourself some options from day one, because your baby might prefer a certain bottle. You know, especially you know what's super common with bottle breastfeeding, doesn't matter, but like tongue ties, lip ties, and cheek ties, like there are all of these challenges kind of in those early days that you're navigating and figuring out. And if you are walking that path, then having different options of bottles, like baby might prefer one for like physical reasons.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It's more comfortable for them, or they can actually get the milk. So that being said, let's
some of the few, like you mentioned, the Komotomo. This one is the 3-month, but they have newborn ones as well. Really nice. It's like a silicone, super easy to clean. It also has like a different suction.
It's a slower flow.
Yeah, slower flow. So that's a great option. We also have the Dr. Brown's. The Dr. Brown's is cool because they have this kind of like green straw, which actually like regulates the flow. Would you say all of them kind of?
All of these help to regulate flow in their own way, because basically the challenge that you're trying to avoid is baby chugging their milk in 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Which can happen. So all these options have different ways of kind of mitigating
like reducing the gas, reducing
Dr. Brown's bottles, I know anytime I've done research on bottles, I know that they're super popular.
Yeah, absolutely. And they come in glass as well. Glass is also another option. There's no like
glass. These
one is
Avent ones.
Yeah, there's no like is glass better than plastic, better than silicone. It's more, again, all preference for sure.
Totally.
Yeah, and then the Avent ones, like you said.
The Avent one. So this Dr. Brown's is a newborn set, and this Avent is also a newborn set. And these are nice, you know, because it gives you different sizes and different options within the set. So you do get a bit of experimentation there, and then you're just putting one kind of product on your registry versus 10. So these are really, you know, we always
good to test
see
out.
These on people's registries. But
definitely,
yeah, these Avent bottles are glass. We did get a question of, you know, what's better, plastic or glass?
Yeah.
And it is totally parent preference.
Absolutely.
And also, you know, what makes sense for your baby. Because obviously, if your baby's getting closer to a year and they're starting to chuck things, you might not want to do glass anymore.
Glass silicone might be the best option for you. And then we kind of get into cleaning, sterilizing, and warming. A little convenient,
Somebody actually just asked, what is the best baby bottle warmer?
Oh, amazing.
So this is a super popular one that we carry, this Avent one. It's honestly, it's like a basic, cheap and cheerful option, but it really does the job. You know, we chatted about this before, and I like to keep it real with you guys.
Yeah.
I thought bottle warmers were like crazy. But if you're planning to primarily, you know, pump and like bottle feed either from pumping or from formula, having a bottle warmer on your registry is a really great thing to do.
Yeah.
If you're planning to primarily breastfeed, I wouldn't necessarily add a bottle warmer on day one until you know if you need it or not. But if you are planning a bottle feeding journey early on, then this is a really great option.
Absolutely. There's so many like convenient accessories now that really do just make your life that much easier.
Totally.
Speaking of that, we have the Baby Brezza sterilizer and dryer here. Baby Brezza has, you know, an array of basic sterilizers and dryers to like pro sterilizers and dryers. It's basically like your bottle dishwasher in one, which is awesome.
If there's any, like, I don't know, between cleaning your breast pump and cleaning bottles, those are
things you just don't want to be
worse than the sleepless nights, because it's just like the most thankless task. So this is such a lifesaver.
Yeah.
If you're
multiple bottles,
so great.
Multiple bottles, every single part, and it just makes that whole kind of like cycle a lot easier. You can put a bunch in here, get them all sterilized, dried, ready to go for your next feed for sure. And like you said, you're feeding constantly. So it's nice to have these accessories.
I didn't pump and bottle feed enough to warrant this.
Yeah.
But what I did instead, so I used just like a bottle and straw cleaner, and then, I mean, regardless, you're probably going to be looking at having some sort of drying rack for baby bottles, baby feeding stuff. It's kind of nice to keep it separate from the masses.
Definitely.
So that it doesn't get damaged and kind of introduced to all the other
it is. That's the thing. It is nice to keep them separate, and that's why people get all of these kind of different accessories or different dryers and cleaners, because you're cleaning them so constantly, but it's also nice to know that they're sterilized and dried properly in that sense too.
Our gal Hunter, who won yesterday's prize, said, I would love the sterilizer, been eyeing it up. Having to clean all the pump parts and everything is so time consuming, and it totally is.
100%, just keeping it real,
That's a job that you should try to delegate if possible. Delegate.
Definitely.
Amazing. Somebody said mine is arriving today.
Amazing.
We're excited for you.
You will definitely, that's where it's like, you will get its money's worth. Like, you will get your use out of it. One of our last questions that we had, at least pre-live, was how to help with gassy babies. I'm sure it's a common
Oh my gosh, it's super common. It wasn't, this one's a tough one for me to answer.
100%.
A, I'm not an expert, and B, I didn't really walk this path.
Yeah.
But I know the Frida Baby Windy.
I've heard so many good things about
put it in the tushy, and it helps them pass gas that way if they're having a hard time pushing it out. That's a super, super popular product.
Yeah.
Often people work with their pediatrician on this, but
for sure.
Often I've heard a really good quality probiotic is recommended, or switching a formula if your baby's formula fed, or often it's even in mom's diet. So I know with me, my baby was allergic to dairy
Oh,
when he was under 1.
Yeah.
And I had to completely remove dairy from my diet. And if I did, it would create like gas and other problems. And so sometimes it's mom's diet too. So that's definitely something that you're going to want to work with your pediatrician on.
For sure. And I think it is nice to kind of have those experts that you can lean on, and they can give you that kind of like
Somebody did just make a great point about bicycle babies' legs when you're diaper changing can help with gas, and that is absolutely one thing that we did. We would always, anytime we were doing a diaper change, we would get those legs moving.
What a good hack.
See if they could get out any gas while they're on the change table. Yeah,
love these. I love that you guys share hacks with each other.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much.
I know. So that is our finisher.
This is newborn feeding.
This is newborn feeding.
We hope it's been valuable and that you guys have enjoyed coming along for the ride with us.
Definitely.
We have certainly loved all of the questions and comments that came through. It's so great. We love the Q&As that come through and during. It's really great to spend the time with you guys.
Yeah, and we said before we're going to share kind of like a share your story, what you expected versus what you do with newborn feeding, with labor and delivery, so that we can kind of get our whole Snuggle Bugz community together, which is awesome. But we do have a giveaway for today. We have one every single day. Today's giveaway is the Pip and Fee and Baja Baby bundle, 2 of some of our favorite brands. Pip and Fee, your sleepers, your sleep sacks, your 2-piece pajamas, and then Baja Baby is all things baby skincare, which is amazing. So you will get the bundle. Drum roll, please. Congratulations, Angela Loafer. You have won the Pip and Fee and Baja Baby collection, which is amazing. Unfortunately, we just saw this update, but we can't throw the winner slide up on lives anymore. So I will share it and DM you after this. But congratulations. We are so excited for you.
Yay. And don't forget to join us, you guys, next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
We got 3 more.
12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday, we've got Newborn Sleep.
That'll be in Nestled this time.
Then we've got Tuesday is developmental toys.
Fun.
And Wednesday is baby wearing with Carrie.
Carrie and I will be showing you all the things in store. And I love baby wearing with our fake baby. But amazing. Again, start your registry now, between now and October 18th. Get some extra perks that you can take advantage of at the end of October into November. We love our registry perks. Head into store, talk to our advisors. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you next week.